guys, and welcome to a new video. That was a really high-pitched hi guys. Today we are going to talk about the books I read in May, which was the amount of 6, which is not that a lot. Didn't read that much, been in a reading slump. Gonna catch up in June, I hope. Yeah, let's head in and talk. The first book I read in May was Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series, or the 6th, depending how you look at it. And it follows the story of Selena, who is an assassin, and the first book is about this tournament where they are fighting to be the king's assassin, basically. That's what I'm gonna say, but I don't want to say anymore because the story is so much more about that. Now, I enjoy this immensely because the story has gone so far now and there are characters I care so much about and a lot of developments happened. The story still had some weird creative choices, like a lot of the planning of the actual plot was off the page, so things just happened and we haven't heard of them because, you know, they were off the page. And I guess that is to like surprise the reader, but it was still really odd. The story has always been told in more than one perspective, but in this one it was really clear, and the main character Selena was not really that apparent. Like, she was there of course, but we heard a lot about the other character more almost, which was a different choice. But I guess that's because, you know, the planning was in her head and thereby we couldn't follow her that much around, I assume. I know that Sarah gets criticized a lot for not having enough diversity in her books, and I do agree on that, but that does not mean I can't enjoy them. And I really did feel a bit overwhelmed by all the characters in the book sort of has to have someone to be with. Everyone has to be matched together, and like, it's possible to not have a significant other and be perfectly happy. Not just because you are ROAs, which is totally fine that you are, but like, you don't have to be after someone all the time to have sex all the time. It's not, you don't need to. It's fine. You can chill. I did, as I said, enjoy this book a lot, but I just noticed that all the characters that we've been following now through a few books needs to be matched up with someone, and all those matches are straight. It bothers me. It does. Everyone needs to be so horny all the time. Like, I guess, like, of course you're attracted to someone, you are horny, but there are people who are not like that, and it really does get one-sided in that part. I do not like that a lot, but I enjoy this immensely, and I still love Sarah. Like, I fangirl over her a lot. I feel like she has to improve on some things, and I haven't read Tower of Dawn yet. I haven't read the last books in the Court of Frozen Roses series. I don't know how she changes and evolves, but there's always room for involvement, and we should encourage that and not just hate. We should. But it's a hard world, and it is sad to see such a popular series lacking that are important for a lot of people. But I don't know, it's a hard discussion. I still enjoy this series a lot, and I can't wait for Kingdom of Ash when it's out in October still. The next book I then read was Fence by P.S. Pacat and Johanna the Mad, and I absolutely loved this. This is a comic, if you didn't tell by the format. It's the same author of Captain Prince, which I absolutely love, and I love this. It's about a fencing school and guys who fence, and it's so gay, and I'm so for it. And the artwork is great, the story is great, the characters are great, and it's so short, and I want more. It was on like 112 pages, and I read it in 20 minutes, and I need more. I can't wait to continue with this series. It's so great and diverse and beautiful, and you have to check it out. If you like Yuri on Ice, really, like, it's really Yuri on Ice-esque, if you know what Yuri on Ice is. It's full of drama and the nice things, and do recommend 100%. The next book I then read was Rødstrupe by Jo Nesbø. I can't remember the English title right now. I know it's been translated into English, but I've totally forgotten. Skylark? I think it's called Skylark. And it is the 3rd book in the Harry Hole series, and it follows the detective Harry Hole. This book is set in Norway, Oslo, and the other 2 first in the series were set in Thailand and Australia, so we are like back home where he's actually from. I'm not from Oslo, but it's still cool to be in Norway. This one had like flashback from the Second World War that connected with the case, and I was really surprised how much I enjoyed this one. Like, of the 3 I read so far, this is the one I liked the most. Like, I was actually interested to see the murderer who was behind everything. The first 2 really weren't that interesting, so it was really nice to actually enjoy it a lot more. But I still don't understand the hype, but I guess I will go to the later ones and see. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars for I liked it, which I did. It's a crime novel, if you didn't get that. The one I then picked up after that is Tokyo Ghoul Volume 4, which is the 4th volume in Tokyo Ghoul, if you didn't get that from the title. Jeez, I'm so weird. Story follows people who are ghouls that look like us, but they live with meat. Not meat, but human flesh, I mean. And the government hunts them because they don't like them, because they eat people. God. It's about a boy who becomes half ghoul and half human, and the story develops from there. This is the 4th volume, which actually is my least favorite because it was just this really weird thing in it. It's not like I didn't enjoy it, I just didn't like this less than the other ones. But it's not bad by all means, and I really enjoyed the series, and I'm looking forward to continue it and like reach a point where like the anime is weird and stuff. But yeah, there's 3rd seasons out, haven't watched that yet, so I have things to do. Now we are at the book that put me in a reading slump, which was Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. It was not a bad book, it was just like, the writing was so odd because it was just odd, and it's an adult book, which I am a bit accustomed to actually, which is bad. I couldn't get into it. It's about 6 different people in 6 different time periods, and they all like connect together, or that was how I assumed the story was. And I seen the trailer of the movie and I really wanted to watch the movie, but I wanted to read the book first, and the cover is stunning and I had it forever. So I was really excited for this one, but it sort of let me down. Not because it was slow, because I read the first 50 pages and then I read the last part of the book in 3 days, so I just didn't pick it up for like 3 weeks. That was why I was slow. It had took up a lot of questions in society and race and other things, like our usage of things and the world and things like that. So in a way I understand that it questioned things like that, I don't know, in an analytic way that I can't think at all. But I just expected more because, as I said, there's 6 different stories and they're written in totally different ways, so really kudos to the author to make them totally believable characters in different settings. But I just feel like they were supposed to be connected, but they weren't really connected in a way I thought it would be, and it was sort of disappointing actually. I expected more, and some of the point of views were sort of boring, so there was that, but some parts were really interesting. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I liked it. I would give it 3.25 if I could, and I do recommend it for people who are interested in this book. I think it could be really good. I just think I expected something else entirely. The last book I finished in May was A Conjuring of Light by Schwab. I listened to this on audiobook. This is the final in the series. We are in the magical world where there are 4 different Londons, like in parallel worlds. There's Red London full of magic, Grey London, which is like our world but without magic, White London, which is dying of magic, and Black London, which is gone because it was killed by magic. The series follows basically a character that can travel between the different Londons, and he's also a smuggler, which gets him in trouble a lot. And in that sense it's really interesting. It has great characters, but I really did enjoy this. I just felt like things happened too neatly in this book, and all the character that died was so obvious that was gonna die, so it wasn't actually a surprise that they died. So that was sort of disappointing in a way that I felt it was a bit predictable, but that doesn't mean it was bad, and it was really nicely written, and the characters, as I said, great. Like, of course I love some characters more than others. Alucard, Rai and Kel are my favorites, and I am so excited for the new series. As I said, it's just a teeny bit predictable. 4.5 stars for this one, and I am excited to read anything that this author comes out with, ever. That's it. That's the books, and that's it for this video actually. You will see me with a new wrap up next month, I hope, and in other videos. Tell me what you read in May, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!